Hey guys, my name is Casey and I love when neuroscience, psychology, theology, science, and quantum physics align. And if you like that kind of thing, you'll want to stick around. But if not, keep scrolling. That is fine by me. Today we are going to be talking about testing the invisible. Sorry, new day, new outfit. Voila. Okay. So for part 3, hopefully you've watched my video on faith and belief and the difference between the two of them, and then part 1 and 2 of testing the invisible, because this is part 3. Okay, so now here's the last little thing I want to address, is that we've been talking about producing spiritual fruit of like love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, etc. With our acts of faith inside of us. And so I just want to address that some people might say, but non-Christians can also show love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, and you would be absolutely correct. Externally, these behaviors may overlap, but remember, we're testing the invisible, not the visible. And honestly, this isn't a video about shame and which one makes you more complete or whatever. Everyone has their own belief system about that, okay? And if you're not a Christian, you probably don't care if you have fruit of the Holy Spirit. What you probably care about, I'm guessing, is that we're not diminishing your life experience. But what I'm saying is that if the root of belief is different, then your outcomes are going to have a different source, okay? So while the beliefs while the outcomes may look similar, what happens internally is different. And that's okay. This isn't about shame. It's about what happens in a believer. It's not really to be negative towards your life experience or your value. This isn't about shame. So spiritual fruit is not just behavior. It's the outcome of tested alignment with the Holy Spirit. So if you don't have the Holy Spirit, you don't care about the Holy Spirit, you don't believe in the Holy Spirit, you're going to have different outcomes than the people that do, by the nature of how beliefs and actions and outcomes, they're different within a person. So don't worry about it. Just know that they are different. The world may use the same words, but the experience, the origin, the outcome or results, they aren't the same. They may look the same, they may mimic, but they're not the same. It's not about superiority. It's just about definition. If you're not walking with the Spirit, you can't produce fruit of the Spirit. Okay? It's not to shame you. It's to say it's different. We live different lives. We have different outcomes. But Christians produce a fruit of the Holy Spirit because our root system, you can't produce a fruit if your root is different. And of course, that doesn't diminish anyone's value. It doesn't mean that you're any less valuable or worthy of kindness and love, etc. Okay? And at the end of the day, no matter what your opinion is, you are more important to me than my opinion, okay? So if it's something that triggers you and you feel the need to prove or perform, you don't need to do that because I value you more, okay? So let's just put that aside, all right? They're just different. It's like you may have 2 people with bachelor's degrees, but one's from Cornell and one's from not Cornell. It's different. They're different. They're the same degree, but they're definitely different. And again, I don't need to win an argument to validate my worth or my value or to disprove yours. That's not what I'm about. And then for Christians, if you're saying, well, you know, there's something to be said about if you haven't grown the fruit, you can't nourish your life from that fruit. So that's kind of the next point that I want to make. You can't feed your life with fruit that hasn't grown yet. And remember, it comes from belief. So if you find yourself going, man, I'm a Christian, I believe this, I do all of these things, but my life is this. This is very behavior driven. It's not, I need to act in alignment with my belief system and watch the outcomes and then take accountability for what I can take accountability for, reapply new tools where I need to reapply new tools, rather than saying I deserve certain outcomes because I did this behavior. Do you see how that distinction is really important? Have you ever seen anyone try and you've seen 2 people in a relationship and one person is maybe performing intimacy, like performing kindness and touching, and it just doesn't feel authentic. And then you've seen real intimacy between two people where they're just laughing and it's so natural between them, and you can tell the authenticity from performing intimacy and closeness versus embodying it. And this is kind of the difference between bearing spiritual fruit from a belief, experiences, and the product of a life lived in faith versus performing that way. Does that make sense? And that's going to take some accountability because we're testing invisibility here. So I can't be the judge of that. And only God can know a heart. And we've talked about what the heart is. It's your nervous system, it's your mind, will, and your emotions, and where your soul is kind of housed. And so that's one point that I want to make is really important, because you can't offer what you don't embody. And when fruit is produced, it bears fruit. Like I said, you can nourish your life from it. You can nourish other people's life from it, but it also has new seeds inside of it that are ready to grow. Okay? And so that is the gift of the Holy Spirit. It multiplies. It is a miracle of faith, and it is the product of turning something invisible into something unmistakably real.